Wait, wait, what? Whoa, 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 whoa! No way! It transforms! Ooh! 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 Oh, what? What? That looks lit! I didn't even think about that! That is a cool windscreen. No way! Base gone! Base gone!
Hey guys, it's Gibby, and I'm just here to a little video about talking about my well current experience with Dragon Ball as a franchise. Now, reason why I wanted to do this is because, well, for one, Legend's sixth anniversary, not sixth anniversary, excuse me, seventh anniversary is coming up in about 4 days from when I'm recording this. It is currently May 20th, and the reveal is happening in 3 days. The actual celebration starts in 4 on the 24th. And since it's the 7th anniversary, 7 Dragon Balls, the number 7 is just very important as a whole. I figured why not take some time to look back on what I remember seeing as someone who is starting to invest in Dragon Ball as a franchise. I remember mainly from, I think, like maybe middle school. I don't know if it was middle school or a high school, but I remember seeing very old but very, very well known sprite animation of Sonic versus Goku. Way back when. I think it's 2016, so it's pretty old. Because all I know is that they delved into Kaioken for that fight, and that's all I remember. I think that was definitely before the Tournament of Power. That's an old animation. It's very old. But I'll have it playing it somewhere like during this segment right here. But I remember seeing that, and I was like, "Who is this Goku that I'm seeing on my screen?" Because I think at the time, I think I was more of a Sonic guy as a kid, well, as like a younger lad. So I was definitely rooting for my boy right there because he was I knew more. And I think that's typically what anyone does when it comes to these fights or whatever. But ended up winning in that fight, as I remember. But that was kind of my first real like kind of experience watching anything related to Dragon Ball as a whole. Then I think maybe like a few years later, definitely in high school, I saw a friend of mine playing some Dokkan, and I was like, huh, this looks really cool too. And I like, wow, this is a cool little mobile game. And I was like, I might play it. I don't think I actually did, but then there was mobile game that I like, okay, I'll download it and see how it feels. And that was Dragon Ball Legends. Was that was the game that I think got me into the franchise fully. And I remember vividly when I first played that game, what the first unit I ever really saw notable like in my box was, and it was the LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the yellow one, way before the 3rd anniversary. I remember it because it was like, because technically, like when you first started playing, you're gonna get the featured characters. You're gonna get him, so it was it's like one of those little marketing things. Like, oh wow, I'm gonna get these characters. I'm gonna keep summoning. But it was, I don't want to say surreal, but it was like, oh, I just thought it was really cool. I was like, he looks really cool, and I like him. And yeah, that's kind of how I got introduced to Dragon Ball as a whole. It's kind of weird that it was Super Saiyan for Goku. That one in particular, the yellow one, because I remember he wasn't that notable when he first came out, but yeah, I'd say I hold him near and dear to my heart. I remember when he got his Zenkai announced way back during Legends Fest 2022. Oh yeah, it was like a couple weeks before it was where it came, was that Legends Festival, and I was like, I have to get this Zenkai because I have a near and dear attachment to that Goku in particular because he's my first LF character in the game, and I obviously went for it. I did it, and it's kind of why I know about Dragon Ball in a way. But let's move on from that. So as I've continued playing as of now, I've come far when it comes to my skill in the game, as in my team knowledge in the game. But I feel like Legends in a way is kind of how I knew about the franchise. I remember one time I was just doing missions and I got the first anniversary Super Saiyan Blue Goku from intermediate missions, and I was like, oh, blue, that's cool. That's my favorite color. I really like this guy. He's awesome. And then I saw Super Saiyan God, and I was like, okay, so there's Super Saiyan God, and there's two different variants. Red is so it's more evil, and blue is more good. I was like, oh, okay, just Super Saiyan Gods, I guess. I guess, but I never knew at the time that Super Saiyan God was just Super Saiyan God, and Blue was Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, as we would get explained in the future, from when I would delve into more of the media. But yeah, I remember that being a fun time back in the day, and it was I bet I would look at my young self thinking that, and I was like, and I would be like, oh, you are going to be for a world of amazing things to happen in this specific franchise. And lo and behold, we would get Daima as of this year. The dub finished the dub finished like a couple days ago. Both F19 and 20, those dubs are out on Crunchyroll. Got to see both of those. I saw 20 yesterday, and I saw 19 the day before. I had no idea they were released both at the same time, but they did, and I honestly, that's really exciting for me. I like that. I loved both those episodes, even though the ending is still kind of lackluster. I didn't really care. I just liked hearing Sean, Chris, and all the other characters and their English voices, and it just felt so surreal getting to hear them again after so long, after waiting almost an entire year to hear them in those episodes. And oh man, it's kind of crazy how they haven't really done much in this series, like when it comes to their voice acting. But you know what, I don't mind it. I don't mind Stephanie coming back, because that I had no idea that Stephanie was the old Kid Goku voice actor. I think I may have had a brain fart and I just didn't know that was her name, but I thought that was really cool, and I need to go and definitely just rewatch the entire show in the dub, because I only saw, I think, maybe episode 8. I only mainly saw the Tamagami fights, Tamagami 1, 3 and 2 in particular, and the final 2 episodes. I thought those were the 4 that I knew for sure were going to be very, very important to see if they were going to sound good, and I think they did. I think they did. But yeah, in a way, like these these days, I understand when people say like, "Oh, Dragon Ball Legends is a gotcha game. You're gonna go bankrupt." I completely understand. But with life circumstances and I think just growing up as a kid, I think I'm getting better with the concept of you get what you get and you need to hold on to what you have and make sure you use it wisely, and then you'll get rewarded for having that patience or something like that. Just having that patience and will to restrain from certain addictions and stuff like that. I still am going to be doing Legends content, just because, well, for obvious reasons. 7th anniversary is coming up, and I've gone so far in the game now that it would be a back step to just go away from it now. When it comes to me, when it comes to life, because like I love this game, I want to see it get better, and I'm already invested. I'm invested, and I want to see the future of this game. Maybe even to the 10th year. To 10th year. I just not thought about it. I'm excited for what they're gonna do for 10th year because whatever they got going for 7th anniversary, I'm really excited for. But with Legends being my kind of introduction, it feels like I'm stepping away from a long lost friend. If I were to behind, because I hold it near and dear to my heart that this game is the reason why I even know about the franchise. And I guess that's what the video is, why Legend is important to me. And honestly, I'm hoping that makes sense, because there's some people who probably know about Dragon Ball but don't know about the mobile games. Whereas in my case, I didn't really know about Dragon Ball or even let alone the mobile games. But the mobile game was the reason why I even know about the franchise in particular, and why I love it so near and dear. And I remember the night that Toriyama passed away. I was on a trip for college, and I was with friends I think we were playing some Mario Kart 8 on one of their Nintendo Switches, and I got the notification from the content creator that I watch, Indikuba. Love that guy, by the way. He's awesome. I don't know him personally, but I think his content's awesome. I love his video. But I remember seeing that, and I was like, there's no way. I didn't believe it, but I watched that video through, and it was true. I had no idea that like the creator of something that I love deeply just passed away, and it it felt like a part of the world just died. Like something ripped away, like this paper plate I had in my hand. I apologize for that. But yeah, that's kind of what it felt like. Because I love the franchise, and to see the creator, the one who put his sweat, blood, and tears into this, pass away because of illness is sad it's sad, because like he's beloved by so many people. So the reason for so many people's childhood, and I could not imagine like some of the other people who aren't content creators felt about the loss of Akira Toriyama, especially like people who grew up with maybe even OG Dragon Ball these days. Some of the older people who have been in the franchise, been in the community forever. But I felt like I was a part of that community that day, and sometimes I don't think I feel I'm not as like in the community as I did that day, but I feel like I was a part of it. I feel like I could say that I was there when I knew what the world was going to. I knew what the world felt like as soon as that happened, but not as much as some other people. Obviously, I don't really know about the. I didn't. I joined in at a much later time in my life. I remember. I think it. I remember how way back when the sprite animation for Goku versus Sonic. Whenever I got to see LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku for the first time. Whenever I got to play through some of the story mode for Legends and all that stuff, that's kind of the experience I got, and I'm blessed to have it. And as you guys might not know, but I do. But I actually am slightly religious. I try to be these days. Like put your faith in the Lord, that stuff and all that. But yeah, it feels like I feel like even though Legend is like a gacha game, it feels like a blessing. If I had not, I don't think if I've opened that game, I don't think I would have known about all the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego, Orange Piccolo, Beast Gohan, all of that. I probably would have just ignored it. But that's like but since it's a big part of media, you're gonna see it, obviously. But I find that game is a blessing to my love of this. Say what you will about it being a gacha game, but honestly, I don't care if it's a gacha game. I've fully come to terms that this game is a part of something bigger when it comes to my love of this franchise. Well, I say it's a big part of the understatement. It's pretty much the entirety of why I'm in the is because I'm going off of 4 years, I believe, when I can gather, or about 4 years now, because if I did join during LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the yellow one, then obviously 3rd anniversary came after that, then 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Yeah, let me count math here. Yeah, it'll be once the anniversary starts, it'll basically been like my 4th year. It is actually I think it is my 4th year being on this game, and my 4th year pretty much being a part of the Dragon Ball. Like, love of seeing Goku fight the big bad, maybe even seeing Vegeta do the thumbs up, and getting stabbed by Goku Black in the Future Trunks arc or whatever, or even seeing Piccolo get his first ever transformation, maybe even seeing Super Saiyan 2 Gohan for the first time on TV. There's a bunch of different moments that even though they may be like not as exciting as some others in some of the other shows or any piece of media, there is some way that someone has been introduced to the Dragon Ball franchise that thanks to it, they're a part of the community. I think that's what's beautiful about the franchise. There's gonna be something that draws someone to the franchise and get to look into it. I think my friend US Fire on YouTube, he I think it was me that the Legends and the reason why he knows about Dragon Ball these days. I know he knows about the Super Gohan. I don't know about the manga stuff, but I know that for sure. That I feel like I was the one who introduced the Legends, I think. Oh, no, it was. I can't think off the top of my head, but I know I don't know, some way, shape, or form that I also spread the love of Dragon Ball to him, but I just can't think of off the top of my head. It's just been, but I think that if Dragon Ball is able to introduce itself to someone, some other shape or form, and that spreads to someone else new, that is more important than having any sort of like cohesive and some sort of cohesive story that makes sense. If it has that kind of magic, and it's able to do something cool, even if it feels like an ass pull, then I really don't matter is what thing on the internet these days. If you love something, just love it with all your heart. I know people say that Beast Gohan was an asshole because he can become the strongest at any moment in time. Did it look cool? I think it looked cool. Not Ultra E. Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. I don't know why I thought about Ultra E. Maybe that was an asshole giving Vegeta a new form. Maybe that makes sense. Maybe it makes sense in some sort of shape or form. But I haven't really thought about how it makes sense. But I think there is a way to make it make sense. Someone's head, or like my head or something. Considering he wants to grow stronger in his own way. So I guess that kind of does make a lot more sense. But yeah, in my personal opinion, like with Legends being the reason why I know about the franchise, then there's definitely someone out there that looked at Dokkan and was like, okay, this looks, and then someone played it. They were like, oh wow, these are really cool. Maybe the show is really cool. You got this, and they get invested in the show, until the movie, until the different types of characters that we get and all that. And yeah, I personally am like really excited to see what Dragon Ball does for the future, because Daima was awesome no matter what. I kind of thought it was lame at first until episode 8, but as of now, I can confidently say that it's a really cool it's a really cool show. I love Daima. I loved it. It was awesome. Great watch. And I personally am just so excited to see what Toriyama's project goes, where it goes from here. Toyotaru, I hope you do justice on the manga. I don't know what's going on with the manga yet. I haven't looked into it, but hoping it goes well. And that's kind of just me just rambling about why Dragon Ball is so magical, kind of why I am in the franchise. And I just thought I'd talk about it now, and using my Legends is a blessing to me. And I think that's basically what this video is. How I know what Dragon Ball is this day. Why Legends is a blessing for me in particular, and etc. I think that's what it boils down to. But I am just excited for the 7th anniversary as a content creator, as a very, very small content creator, and I'm looking forward to what Dragon Ball does in the future as just a regular human being.